I've been playing around with this ESP32C6 board recently, and one of the things I wanted to try was using it to strengthen my Zigbee network. Instead of using it as a normal Wi-Fi ESPHome device, I'm going to flash it as a Zigbee router and add it to my Zigbee to MQTT network. The ESP32C6 still has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, but it also has the low power radio used by Zigbee and Thread. That makes it a pretty interesting little board for smart home projects, because it is not limited to just Wi-Fi. The reason I wanted to try this is pretty simple. Zigbee routers can make a smart home setup more reliable, especially if you have sensors or switches that are further away from the coordinator or sitting in a weaker part of the mesh. This is not taking over from my Zigbee coordinator. The coordinator is still the main device that creates the Zigbee network and manages everything. With Home Assistant, this is actually a USB Zigbee dongle running through Zigbee to MQTT or ZHA. A Zigbee router is different. It joins your existing Zigbee network and helps pass messages around the mesh. So if you have a battery sensor on the other side of the house, it doesn't always need to talk directly back to the coordinator. It can connect through another powered Zigbee device first, and the message gets passed along through the mesh. That is also why smart plugs and some Zigbee lights can make such a difference. Because they stay powered, they can help other devices stay connected. Battery-powered devices are usually end devices, because they spend most of their time asleep to save power. A router needs to stay awake, so this ESP32C6 needs to stay plugged in if it's going to be useful. Hardware-wise, this is a very simple project. I'm just using the ESP32C6 board, a USB cable, and something to power it from. I'm not adding any extra components, because the board's only job here is to stay online as a powered Zigbee router. For the firmware, I used a GitHub project called ESP32C6 Zigbee Router by First Tris. The project gives you an ESPHome YAML file that is already set up for this, so you don't have to build the config from scratch. You flash that to the ESP32C6, and it turns the board into a Zigbee router that can join your existing Zigbee to MQTT or ZHA network. After downloading the project, there are two files I need to copy across. The main one is the ESP32C6 Zigbee router YAML. This is the main ESPHome config file. Near the top, there are a few basic settings like the device name and friendly name. You can leave those alone if you're only making one router, but if you plan to flash a few of these boards, I would rename each one so they are easy to tell apart later. That way, once the board shows up in Zigbee to MQTT, you're not trying to work out which board is which. The other file I need is partitionszb.csv. This file needs to go in the same ESPHome config folder as the YAML file. The YAML expects it to be there, so if you only copy the YAML across and leave the CSV file behind, ESPHome will fail when it tries to build or flash the firmware. The next thing worth looking at is the Wi-Fi section. Even though this project is built with ESPHome, the board doesn't have to behave like a normal Wi-Fi ESPHome device. You can use it as a Zigbee router with Wi-Fi turned off. In that setup, you flash it over USB, pair it to Zigbee to MQTT, and from then on, the useful part is happening over Zigbee. There is also the option to enable Wi-Fi, API, and over-the-air updates in the YAML. I'd only do that if I wanted the board to show up in Home Assistant as an ESPHome device as well, mainly for checking logs, seeing if it's online, or updating it later without plugging it back into USB. But Wi-Fi is not what makes this a Zigbee router. The Zigbee side is still doing the mesh routing. ESPHome is just how I'm building and flashing the firmware. Once the files were in the right place, I opened ESPHome, uploaded the YAML, and made the small changes I needed for my setup. After that, I hit install and downloaded the compiled firmware file because I wanted to flash the board through ESPHome web. Then I plugged the ESP32C6 into my computer over USB, opened ESPHome web in the browser, connected to the board, and flashed the firmware I had just downloaded from ESPHome. Once the flash finished, I unplugged the board. At that point, the ESP32C6 had the Zigbee router firmware installed and was ready to join the network. Then I opened Zigbee to MQTT, turned on permit join, and plugged the ESP32C6 back in. After a short wait, it appeared as a new device. Mine showed up as not supported generated, with the type listed as router, and some parts still showing as unknown. That's worth knowing before you try this yourself, but I wouldn't treat it as a deal breaker. For this project, the important part is that it joins the network and shows up as a router in the mesh. Even though Zigbee to MQTT doesn't have a polished device definition for it, the values I added are still exposed and pushed through to Home Assistant. In my case, I added a heartbeat, internal temperature, and uptime in minutes. The heartbeat is just a simple way to confirm the board is still alive. The uptime tells me how long it has been running since the last reboot, and the internal temperature gives me a rough idea of what the chip is doing. These aren't required for the Zigbee router to work, but they make the board feel a bit more useful in Home Assistant. It's not just sitting there as a silent router. You could take this further and add external sensors as well. For example, you could connect a temperature sensor, motion sensor, light sensor, or something else, depending on the board, the pins you have available, and how far you want to take the project. I wouldn't overcomplicate it if the main goal is just to improve the Zigbee mesh, but it's nice to know the board can do more than just act as a router. Once it had joined, I renamed it to something obvious. I wouldn't leave it with a random device name, because later on when you're looking at your Zigbee map, it's much easier if it's called something like ESP32 C6 router or hallway Zigbee router. Once the ESP32 C6 had paired, I turned permit join back off so the network wasn't left open longer than needed. At this point, the basic router side of the project was working. Now that the router is on the network, the next thing to think about is where it should go. If I left it plugged in right beside the coordinator, it might work perfectly, but it isn't really adding much value. A router is more useful when it's placed somewhere between the coordinator and the devices that are further away or less reliable. So if you have sensors dropping off in a bedroom, hallway, garage, or outside area, I would place the router somewhere in that direction, while still making sure it has a decent connection back to the rest of the network. I also wouldn't hide it behind a metal cabinet or tuck it into a bad spot. A normal powered spot between the coordinator and the problem area is usually the best option. Once it's plugged in, I would leave it alone for a while. Zigbee routing doesn't always change instantly, so just because you add a new router doesn't mean every nearby sensor will immediately start using it. Some devices may keep their existing route for a while before the network settles. In Zigbee to MQTT, you can check the map and see whether the ESP32 C6 appears as part of the network. The map is useful, but I wouldn't treat it like a live view of exactly what's happening second by second. I'd check it, leave the network to settle, and come back later to see if any nearby devices have started using the new router. For a basic setup, I would keep it simple. Flash the router firmware, pair it to Zigbee to MQTT, plug it in somewhere useful, and let the mesh sort itself out over time. So is it worth doing? I think it is, as long as you know what you're using it for. If you already have an ESP32 C6 just sitting around, turning it into a Zigbee router is a pretty good use for it. It gives the board a clear job in the network, and it's a good way to learn how Zigbee routers fit into the mesh. A Zigbee smart plug is still the easier option if you just want something quick and useful, but the ESP32 C6 makes more sense if you want a small DIY router, or if you're already building your own sensor. That's where I think this gets more interesting. If you're making your own ESP32 C6 sensor, adding router capabilities can be a nice extension, because the board can report its own values while also helping the Zigbee mesh in the background. The main things I would keep in mind are the firmware, power, and expectations. It needs to be flashed with router firmware, it needs to stay powered, and it may show up as unsupported or generated in Zigbee to MQTT. But if it joins the network, stays online, and helps the mesh, that's the main job done. For a small ESP32 C6 board, I think that makes a pretty useful little project.